What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah, and you're watching this video on Sunday, August 18th, 2024 at 10:50 a.m. MST. So excited to be able to make this set of videos, in that this is the behind the scenes video that you never saw. I was celebrating 1 full year of Extraordinary Life with Elijah. So back in 2021, just finishing the first season of Extraordinary Life. And just like the beginning, God is romancing my heart with so many affirmations of His goodness and His love and His provision to help me press forward into everything that we have to do together. This week, Andy, you are my extra and I am the ordinary. I bless you in your gentle and courageous exploration of the faith that you have with God, to step out with Him to encourage me as a total stranger, that without even any relationship, or to know how what you had for me was going to land on my life, that you stepped out in faith to pursue me in love, truly in love of the Father, but in loving the Father well, you loved me in a supernatural way and imparted strength to my life to continue forward in everything good that God has for me to do. Fam, as I came into the first year of Extraordinary Life, it was such a tumultuous time. Much in the same way as when I got started, that I was struggling to make my video all day on Valentine's Day of 2020 and pressed clear into the night to be able to make the video that initiated this. So also coming into the first year, I was just chugging uphill. So many things. I was studying for my broker's exam, which was incredibly stressful, that I hadn't had a lot of business in my real estate practice. Lots of questions about vision and purpose and direction. And on top of all of that my wife and I experienced a miscarriage that was so difficult, and didn't have community around us to be able to walk through that period of time together within the strength of community. And all of that together was just culminating in just this grinder of, I don't know if I can keep up Extraordinary Life with Elijah for another 2.5 years. Enter Andy into the fray. Friends, the first time that I met Andy was here in the office. I was working at my desk, plowing away on some projects I was working on, and all of a sudden I feel a tap on my shoulder. Brian, the teaching pastor out at Journey Church, and Andy were meeting down at City Brew. They looked up and said, "Oh, that's that tower where that guy has been recording all these videos for the Perspectives course that's happening right now. We should pop in and say hi." And specifically, Andy wanted to stop in and say hi because he had a picture for me from the Father. Now, at this point, I had never met Andy before. He had never met me. He had followed me on Facebook and had been watching some of my videos, but we had never met in person. I'm working away, all of a sudden tap on my shoulder. Here's Brian. "Hi, we thought we'd pop in and say hi. How are you doing?" I have no idea who you guys are. What's going on? Hello, who are you? As we begin to talk, Andy just says, "Could I meet with you some other time? I'd like to sit down with you. I think the Father has a picture that I'm supposed to share with you, but it's just not here now. Would you meet with me?" Absolutely, Andy, that's amazing. I would love to meet with you. Let's get together. We set up a time for the next couple of days, sit down, start chatting back and forth, getting to know each other, and Andy just shares with me what God had done. In prayer, Andy saw this picture of a train that was coming out of the mountains around this bend, was chugging into its station, and it was carrying wealth that was just overflowing, gold nuggets and silver and gems and coming around a bend out of the mountains. And there was so much wealth in this train that gold nuggets are just falling off the side onto the ground. It's just so much excess spreading on both sides of the track, and no attempt is being made to hold it in because there's just so much that's, in his words, he said, like Solomon that just had silver and he just made silver in his kingdom worthless, that it was that type of wealth. And that as he watched this train and God was speaking to his heart, it zoomed in, and there in the train conducting it was me. And he said that in his picture that he had with God, he was kind of surprised that he's like, hey, I know that guy. That's the guy that makes those videos and is working with the Perspectives Ministry. And I think I'm supposed to share this picture with this guy. I think he has something for me, or I have something for him, but let's just pursue it by faith. As we're meeting and he shares his picture with me, I'm like, yeah, that picture is for me, Andy. What a blessing to my heart. Back in 2021, I was beginning to wrestle with, what am I doing? This is so much work, and 1 year down, and I still have 2.5 years to go. Like, I don't know if I can make it to August 17th, 2023. That is just crazy. Just the strength waning. And during the week, just before I recorded this video, that in this space that God's bringing Andy into my life, I'm coming into work and a person had placed this little rock outside of my office on the little fire pit, just sat there for a person to find. You're stronger than you think, love. I don't know who you are, my friend, but I love you. That this is God's grace to me in a very ordinary way of heading to work. And here's a love note from me. I am stronger than I think. I am stronger than I know, but God is discovering it to me. I'm placing this somewhere else after we're done with this video for somebody else to find. Whoever made this, you rock, quite literally. Beautiful, isn't it? But as Andy spoke to me, it was like looking into the very eyes of Jesus himself, speaking to me. This is you. And as Andy spoke, the Holy Spirit started bringing back the words of Jesus, as Holy Spirit does so well. This is in Matthew chapter 13. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had, and he bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had, and he bought it. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into the lake and caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it up on shore, and then they sat down and collected the good fish in baskets, but threw the bad away. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into blazing furnace, where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Jesus asked, have you understood all these things? Yes, they replied. And then he said to them, therefore, every teacher of the law who has become a disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old. Andy, your picture to me was speaking to me of everything good that God has done in me up to this point in extraordinary life with Elijah, and was grace imparted to me to continue. That as I pressed into this adventure with God, that in my video, like I said, I went out and spent money on a lens that I didn't have. It was a foolish decision at that point, but I saw the treasure that God was hiding, and I was willing to dig it up, but I had to get the tools in order to do it. And so I went out, I bought my lens, and bam, here I am recording videos. And again, a merchant for a pearl, that the gates of heaven are pearls, and pearls are constructed in the midst of adversity, that over and over that adversity and that rubbing and the sand and the grit and the grind, that a pearl is built around that sand, that the frustration of just the grind of adversity and moving forward, but that it creates this pearl. And again, that my life, I engage the ordinary of life. I just drag a net through the world, just pulling in all these things in people's lives and situations and politics and just every aspect of life. And then I sit down with the Father with this net and I pull out the good and I throw away the bad. And I say, look at this treasure. I'm going to keep that over here. I'm going to record it. And look at that. I'm going to record that too. And look at that. That's goodness. And I'm going to get rid of all that. I'm just going to keep stacking it up. I'm just going to keep storing it up. Oh, and then at the end, every disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old, and trains run on 2 tracks. And I am laying down tracks into the hill of the Lord to receive treasure for the nations. I'm on a 1-track mind. I want to seek the Father's kingdom and his righteousness, and all of these things are going to be added as well. It's our maximal efficiency, all things. And I'm on a 1-track mind to pursue my Father's heart, so that I can get as much of it as I can, to give away as much of it as I can, so that people can be empowered to know him more. And I'm laying down 2 tracks, one in the past and one in the future. And one day, I'm going to conduct all of those riches backwards towards the people that I am intended to serve, which my heart is set on the world. Why? Because that's where my Father's love resides. My Father so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, so that all mankind could be reconciled to him. Man, so frustrating. A man frustrated in love, which is why I love that God initiated this on Valentine's Day. You're watching this on Sunday, August 18th, but I'm recording this on Sunday, February 14th, 2021. There's these tracks that are being laid to run the machinery of this thing called extraordinary life with Elijah, that I'm just sorting out the gold, sorting out the good, and just storing it up, storing it up, storing it up. And Andy, the thing that you don't know, that you spoke to, is that once all of this drops after August 17th, that God already has in place what I'm going to be doing, that I'm going to be running the rails of this track that I laid with him. And I have wealth that God is building for me that I don't even know that I have, in the past, in the future. That there's this track that I get to run on, and that the videos of the future that are going to be concurrent, that are running in parallel with these videos that I already laid in advance, they're the tracks that I'm running on, that God has wealth, that I'm going to be looking at the statement of the past and the statement of the future, and I'll put them together by the power of the Holy Spirit, and he's going to lead me into all truth of the things that he's yet doing in the future that I have no idea about, but that I'm going to run in and out, in and out, in and out with a 1-track mind to serve my Father's heart, to impart grace to you that you may know him more. You had a picture from the Father. Man, you're my extra. Man, your extra is just lighting me up. It's giving me strength for the journey. Friends, Andy's life puts on display in a powerful way what happens when we pursue our Father's heart by faith in the ordinary, everyday grind of getting up, having breakfast, spending time with the Father, praying about the things that are on your heart and your life, Andy, with you and your wife's journey and what God has for you and your heart and your passion, but that you were pursuing the Father's heart for you, that you could know him more. And that in that space that he gave you this split-second picture, a train full of wealth. Elijah's conducting this thing towards people. I think I'll go hand that to him. I hope this means something to him. I hope this means something to him. I hope I'm not just crazy and out on a limb. But God, I trust you and I love you more than staying comfortable and safe. I'm going to step out in faith with a stranger that I don't even know, and I'm going to love him and see what this does in his life. Andy, you're my extra. And I am the ordinary. And I'm reaching out in love to you. Coming for you. Open it, Father. Open it. Because I have family that I think you have pictures for. I don't even know them yet. But I want to meet you because I have pictures from the Father that I think are for you. And I see your faces connected to it. I think God has grace for you guys, and I think that he has something for me in the process. Andy, as we sat together here in this space, and I said, yep, that means something to me. This is what I was talking about, brother. See this? This is for you. Let this rock your world, brother. You are stronger than you think. You're stronger than you know, Andy. And God is calling you out to build you up into every good work that he has for you to do. And let me tell you something. You're not striving for anything. You're working from it. God's already doing in and through you what he has more of you to do. You're already doing it. You're already doing it. You did it in me here. And God has so many more, countless people for you to minister to with his fun pictures to light them up so that their good works can shine like a lighthouse. I feel like I'm in a lighthouse to so shine before all men that the world would see their good works, see your good works, see my good works, and glorify our Father in heaven. Arise and shine, for the light has come. Whew! Man. All right, my camera says 22 minutes. Fam, whatever God has for you to do, whether it feels big, it feels small, it feels like you're not doing anything at all, before him, submit yourself there, humbly fall, that as you humble yourself before the Lord and let his eyes rest upon you, no surprise, you will rise, and his name you will glorify. If you subscribe to what I am doing, and right now I'm laying tracks down, that's what I'm doing right now. But if you subscribe to what I am doing, hit the button, hit it, and then get it. Follow Andy's example. Follow Jesus' example. Follow my example and get it. Hit the button and then get it. Hit the bell as well so that you get notified with the new content. And if you love this video, man, I love this video. Man, I don't know who you are. If you loved this video, didn't just like it, hit the thumbs down button. I pray blessings on our lives together. I love you guys lots. Before I met you, I have loved you, and I'm filled with a glorious and inexpressible joy. I've been trying for the last 24 minutes. I'm trying. Pray blessings on our lives together. I love you guys lots, and I will see you in the next video, which starts now. Instead of having 2 videos in a row where there was no video, we're caught back up. Which starts now. Oh man. I often wonder why you were watching these videos back in 2021. If you ever watched them and said, man, why is his eyes always bloodshot? Like, what's going on? There's a lot happening behind the scenes, like all the videos I've been going back and watching through this last year. I remember one of my first videos and jumping that line of August 17th. I said, you know all the joy that you experienced in the videos, like the testimony, like if there was a little rawr, little growl in those videos, is because everything that was happening behind the scenes, the laboring, the interceding, just the time spent before the Lord behind the scenes was overflowing into these videos. Better hurry up. My camera's gonna turn off, max out here at 30 minutes. Oh man, Andy, what did you do? What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah. And today, you, my fam, are the extra, and I am the ordinary.